Let me show you how I took this PS5 controller from this to this. So the whole middle housing for the controller is going to have to be replaced. Unfortunately, it's not the kind of thing where you can just pop the trigger back in. There's just too much broken plastic, and it's a Model 30. So if it was a Model 10 or 20, then the triggers are separate. But on this, it's kind of all one piece with that middle housing. To do that, I'm going to have to disassemble it and get the board out, transfer the board into a good middle housing, and then reassemble and test. Alright, here it is. This is the part that I'm going to be replacing. And usually L2 and R2 are attached to this piece, but on this one they've both broken off, and the plastic that it clips into is also broken, so there's just no fixing it. It's going to have to be this full frame replaced. So this is an old part from a different repair where they brought it in for button issues, and usually I can fix those by cleaning and recalibrating the button membrane that's attached to this piece. But on that old one, I had to just replace this whole middle housing because the membrane is kind of a pain to replace. So instead of replacing the membrane, I just did the whole middle housing because it was easier. And now I have this one to come back and resurrect. So I'm going to be taking the button membrane from the first one and putting it on here. And hopefully that's all it takes to fix this old middle housing. So every controller after the first two revisions has the membranes under the trigger. So it's a little bit more work getting it off, but I'll show you how to do it. So I'm going to pry this up with the metal spudger, and then the adjacent corner with the other screw hole on the side also needs to be pried up. And then here's the hardest part in my opinion. The last part of this little trigger holder thing is holding on to the side of L2. So we just need to kind of lift it away, and then it comes right off. And then there's this little gear thing under the trigger. We're going to pull that out, and then we have access to the rod. And we can just pull this rod out now. That's what was holding the trigger in. So now the trigger you can just lift out. And make sure to keep track of the spring. They do like to fall out sometimes. So that's L2 off, and now we're going to repeat the same step on the other side for R2. So this is what I was talking about with the button membranes. They go under the triggers. That's why we had to undo those. But now we finally have access to the button membrane. And in case anyone was wondering, these are also the same steps you would follow if you ever want to install mouse click buttons or mouse click triggers. So if your controller is Model 3 or later, this is the guide you would follow. If you have a Model 1 or 2, then the buttons are separate from the triggers. So it's a little bit different, but pretty similar. And if you ever want to know what model you have without opening it, you can just check the serial on the back. Every serial is going to be a letter followed by a number. So the number, the second character in the serial, is going to be your model number. So this one is G1, so I can deduct that it is a Model 1. Alright, so back to the button membrane. These kind of just lift up out of the trigger area and then bend around and pop out. So now that we got the bad button membrane removed, we're going to take the good one out of the first controller and put it in the donor chassis. I guess this guy saved me an extra step by ripping out his triggers. Like most things, it's a little bit harder putting it back in than it is getting it out. But just make sure you're careful with these parts with the triggers, and you should be fine. It's an important step to make sure that the membrane is all the way flat in this trigger area here. And then we can get the rest of the membrane clipped in along the D-pad and button area. And then finally just finish it off on the other trigger side. And then we can just go back in with these rubber pieces. Again, just make sure they're all the way tucked in. And then it's just going to be dropping the triggers in, lining up the rods, and putting the gears back on. One of the springs was missing, so I had to add one in. He had these busted up sticks, so I'm going to replace the thumbsticks as well. At first these L1 and R1 buttons weren't lining up, but then I remembered it was from a clicky button kit I was doing, and it had these little flat pieces on the bottom of the buttons, so I just had to take those out. Alright, time for the final reveal. Does it work? Yes, it does. Alright, sweet. Well, thank you all so much for watching this one. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.